Guys, we need to stop using the word like. Okay, guys, the word like is a problem. Okay, stop. Alright, the word like is overused. Before we begin the video, I want you to pay attention to this specific clip and just count how many times this dumb brain dead idiot uses the word like.
Oh yeah, also, if you ever watch some of his manhunt videos or hear him, not really, but he does not upload a lot. I remember hearing videos, I think him sweating his ass off for several hours just to produce a video and hope that he's gonna win, and something's entertaining. Surprisingly,
Alright, you get the point. We need to pay attention to how we speak to others, because imagine making a speech in front of everyone during your mom's funeral and you're just...
She was the greatest mom ever, because she was no other and I wish I spent more time with her because because her love would
Do you know how stupid this sounds? The amount of likes being used to make this emotional formal speech turn into an American crap fest. Stop using these filler words. Okay, we can get past this title card. Now, there are several words that we commonly use in our speech to fill in the empty spaces of our thought process. Now, plenty of examples of filler words include basically, totally, I mean, I guess, so, just, and the infamous like. Why specifically this word? Because I just hear it so much in my peers' dialogue. I swear, every little sentence, some are just used like a Glock, just pulling it out and shooting my ears for no reason. It's just a little too much, as if they couldn't think of any other word to think of that moment, to fill in their sentences, as if they're alright. I think that's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but I notice it every single time. But it's not only that. All of these filler words and more are used in many different languages. Not just English, but also in Spanish, Dutch, French, Mandarin, and even sign language. Yes, sign language has filler words. I don't even know how, because one of the primary reasons for filler words, ironically, doesn't apply to sign language. But we'll get to that later in the video. Don't fall asleep now, because a montage of filler words are here to wake you up. Cue the music.
Right while I'm here, let's pull up something, and they were they pulled up this thing called
big problems facing humanity, like the climate catastrophe,
and I'm I literally hate that so much. But I think that's my biggest thing. It's just
really, so it was really rivals and stuff like that.
To kid, and so it I was just I just don't care. I gotta film
Okay.
No.
I think that's enough of those filler words, and you should be able to understand my perspective of them. I remember just scrolling on Reels, and just randomly this Asian speech guy just pops up to tell me that my form of speech sucks dog. And I mean, if you remember that Minecraft clip, it fucking sucks, man. So, what happens then? I just notice and hear all these little filler words subconsciously, and it begins to annoy me how NPC everyone at my high school feels. It's hard for me to listen to someone when I just get bombarded with 30 different likes from a 2-minute conversation. I can't even understand what you're saying, buddy. And we pay attention to the filler words that are just being commonly used every day. A majority of them aren't being used properly as defined by the dictionary, especially the word like. I searched up like's definition on Merrimack. Is that even the spelling? Merrimack. Hold up. I searched up like's definition on Merriam-Webster, and it has 27 different definitions. How? How are you not using those 27 definitions in your sentences? It's just a filler word. To give yourself that little moment to think, that little moment to finish that phrase up. Some words such as like or are just easy to transition from one disconnected phrase to another. But let me tell you, or from Vin Gang, silence is the most powerful tool during your conversation. And explain why more people don't use the power of silence. Simply because they're afraid of silence. It doesn't feel right when I hear the contrast of my voice and... Yeah, it's weird, huh? You just take a quick pause, and between this interval, hopefully you don't lose people's attention span. Hopefully, someone doesn't just interrupt you when you're trying to find the next word. But using silence is way more powerful than using like. It gives a sense of assertiveness in your voice, a feeling of credibility in what you're trying to say is correct. It's with purpose, with meaning, and it gives that sense that you know what you're talking about. Just listen to me advertising a scrub daddy to your door. Not sponsored, by the way. This is the scrub daddy, yeah. Like, it's just, I guess, the ultimate cleaning partner. Like, its flex texture like adapts to like water temperature, you know. It's also like firm in like cold water for, you know, tough scrubbing, I guess. Like some soft in warm water, like for absorbency. This scratch-free sponge is like, you know, delicate on like surfaces. Its ergonomic design reaches just every corner easily, like, and its like smile just cleans both sides of the utensils. It's resistant to odors and debris. You know, Scrub Daddy is like a dishwasher safe sponge. Like, you know, experience why it's like America's favorite like sponge, and by clicking the link in the description down below to receive like, you know, 10% off, I guess, your first purchase, you know. Clean with like the daddy of sponges. This is the Scrub Daddy, the ultimate cleaning partner. Its flex texture adapts to water temperature, firm in the cold water for tough scrubbing, soft and warm water for absorbency. This scratch-free sponge is gentle on delicate surfaces. Its ergonomic design reaches corners easily, and its smile cleans both sides of utensils. Resistant to odors and debris, Scrub Daddy is dishwasher safe. Experience why it's America's favorite sponge by clicking the link in the description down below to receive 10% off your first purchase. Clean with the daddy of sponges. Okay, you notice the big difference between ad 1 and ad 2? Ad 1 is just a clumped up mess. Like, if you were to guess, I guess, like, try to, you know, like, understand what's trying to like I think you get the point. Ad 2 just sounds way more credible. Replacing those filler words with pauses of silence really gets the audience to understand what you're trying to say. How are you going to sell someone the Scrub Daddy when you can't even convince your own daddy to buy one himself? You sound like you're hiding something, or you just don't know what you're talking about. And ad 2 makes your voice sound way more confident and credible in every aspect. But there are moments when you should actually be using filler words. Although filler words do remove your credibility during times of trying to assert your claim, filler words are more relatable during emotional situations. An excess use of just pausing with perfect speech dialogue seems kinda robotic and separated from everyone else. Since the vast majority of people use filler words in their speech, being that different person with the perfect speech separates that relatability from you and everyone else. How can you empathize and relate to a situation when your dialogue isn't even somewhat similar to what others say? But it still doesn't mean you should just fill up your sentences with filler words. No. That means you have to understand when and where to use them, because we're not here trying to be an NPC. We're trying to be genuine people. We're trying to get our points across. And that's exactly what I'm going to be explaining in the next section of this video. Okay, maybe excess silence is also bad. In order for us to really clear up our message, it is obviously to clean up our filler words. All the uhs, the likes, the you know, all the phrases that you commonly use to give yourself the extra breathing room to think. Replace them with short pauses and silence. In my experience of implementing this in my daily conversations, I've been thinking real hard to not just use just to fill up the sentence. It feels really weird and makes me feel pressure to say something as the audience just waits for a response. A filler word can help signal to your audience that you're thinking of a response and that you've actually heard them talk to you. Because I've got friends that think for a good 20 seconds before giving me a response to my questions. I just remember constantly bombarding them with the same question over and over again. And then they finally give me a response. It's kinda off-putting just to be silent after a question. So instead, I replaced the filler word with, "That's a good question. Let me think about that real quick." It still gives the audience an indication that I've actually heard the question and that I'm just thinking about my response without just, that entire time I'm thinking, oh nice, after me just yapping, where was I? Oh yeah, it feels pressuring to give a response while you're just in silence. No, really, if you suffer from using too many filler words in your conversations, please practice this with your friends, and you'll see how hard it is at first. Practice to remove those filler words, but not only that, but put a heavy emphasis on practicing while helping clear up your dialogue, while also removing those NPC habits. If your friend notices you just being silent for too long, just tell them you're still thinking. Let them know that you're trying to remove your filler words from your conversation. Or even better yet, make it a small punishment for yourself. There was this TED Talk I watched when researching for this video, and this dude said that apparently whenever he used the word like in a sentence, he told his friend to smack him. This is a little punishment. A little punishment. He got smacked 47 times in an hour. I'm not joking. I may be wrong, but I know he got smacked a lot in one day. And you should try that too. See how much of those birthday punches damage your face just from saying one word. Do it. I dare you. Okay. I think we're getting a bit out of hand here. I'm not trying to pressure you to jump off a cliff. I'm just giving immediate feedback. Yeah. Which brings us to our next point. Feedback. You can only perfect your technique as far as to what you think is perfection. The problem is, what you think is perfection may not actually be perfect. Again, feedback is what gets you to that next level. Getting other perspectives helps build upon what you've learned prior and further improve from that level. And that's where the smacking feedback comes into play. Your friends can smack you every time you make a mistake because the more you fuck around, the more you find out. I don't think that quote applies in this context, but I mean, you get the point, right? Just get someone to notify you while paying attention to your future words, and filler words will disappear in an instant. False. Using filler words is like eating 3 meals a day. It's just a daily habit that seems impossible to get rid of. Slowly over time, with much focus and concentration, the frequency of filler words will decline while the bruising in your face increases. There will be a day that you can finally and fully master a daily activity, knowing fully well that you don't use filler words to fill the moments of silence using sign language. Yes, I'm still surprised at the fact that sign language uses filler words. I don't understand the concept, but please, someone just explain to me how someone in sign language just says, or, Please, someone in the comment section down below, please explain how filler words work in sign language, because that's just not how it works. I don't understand. I don't understand how the concept works in sign language when you're making hand movements. How is that applying to voice visually? I meant auditorially. How does that apply to a visual concept, not an auditorial concept? Makes no sense. Alright, so you guys pretty much get all the information you need to know in the real world to survive. Now, you can convince your homies to buy a Scrub Daddy. I suggest you really do more research into this topic. I only really stated the basics in an entertaining fashion because, spoiler alert, watching videos explaining that your speech sucks dog is a snooze fest. There are many ways to replace those filler words with other techniques, or even repeating them with more advanced vocabulary. That girl you're trying to pull, it's gonna go flawlessly. You'll seem way more confident and reassuring that you're the one for her. And of course, she'll say yes when you ask her out. You know, fact check this, by the way. The skill of a clear and strong speech is very applicable in the real world, and really could get you that dream job or that high-paying client for that big payout. I really do suggest you practice speaking, because how can you be DJ Khaled if you just, what's that word? Resynthesize, like my, the beats I make. So, if you learn anything from this video, don't be an NPC. Goodbye.